Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Lauer.
Sorry. Because Savannah is a lawyer, I think it's only appropriate that I begin today by reading something directly from the New York State statute covering awards luncheons. This is Article 2, Section 1, and I quote, "Whereas the person presenting the award to the recipient is about to heap tons of gushing praise on said recipient, the presenter is also entitled, perhaps even required, to balance the presentation with a healthy dose of negativity and embarrassing shit." It's the law. So I say that to you, and I think the first thing I'd like to mention about that is Savannah Guthrie is a klutz. I want to say it again because you have no idea. She is not your run-of-the-mill, stub your toe, spill a drink kind of klutz. Savannah is a sit down and miss the chair, walk into a sliding door, trip over a cordless phone kind of klutz. A simple walk from the dressing room to the makeup room or from our studio to the plaza is a hold-your-breath event that all too often results in carnage. When Savannah was named co-anchor of the Today Show, we immediately went out and hired a paramedic to be on call at the studio. That person has earned his money each and every day for the past 5 years, treating contusions, bruises, and sprained ankles, sometimes before the first commercial break at 7:12. It's gotten to the point where we don't walk next to her for fear that she will go down and take one of us with her. But annoyingly, that's all there is. That's the only downside to working with Savannah, other than perhaps her questionable taste in music. Think of melancholy guitar riffs bookending heart-wrenching breakup lyrics that leave you wanting to open a vein. But that's it. There's nothing else bad to say about this Matrix Award winner, quite the contrary. There is nobody, and I have gone back and studied this and researched it, there is nobody who has ever assumed the role of Today anchor who's come to this job more qualified than Savannah Guthrie. No one has ever brought a better resume to this job. Think about it. Not Garraway, not Brokaw, not Walters, not Pauley, not Gumbel, not Couric, and certainly not Lauer. No one has ever come to the Today Show with the credentials that Savannah has brought to this job. A proud graduate of the University of Arizona, a Georgetown law degree, finishing at the top of her class, a stint as a legal analyst before catching the bug to tap into her journalistic instincts and following those instincts from local markets to Court TV to MSNBC and all the way to Washington as the White House correspondent for NBC News. She's traveled the world interviewing the most powerful people and telling the stories that define our times, and always with a sense of purpose and a sense of self. I'd put that item at the top of her resume. She has a sense of self. She's goal-oriented, she sets her sights high, and she sets the sights high for people around her, and she doesn't stop until she reaches the bar and soars above it. I know I'm gushing, but she's a klutz. The person I'm happy to introduce this afternoon is more than just a driven journalist, a wonderful wife and mother 2 times over, the mother 2 times over. Actually, a wife 2 times over, too, but that's a different luncheon. That's different. She's a loving daughter and sister and friend for the ages. She's a cool chick, and I know that expression might get me banned from future Matrix luncheons, but it's true. She is a cool chick. She's a great hang. She has a sense of humor that can brighten even the darkest days of covering news. She has a smile that, without getting all Mary Tyler Moore, can turn on the world. And she cares about each and every person around her. She's a great coworker and a mentor to everyone on the staff, not just the women, but the men as well. There is something special, strange, even a little bit harrowing about working the early morning hours. When you walk in and see your coworkers at 4:45 a.m., it is not for the faint of heart. There's no place to hide. We see each other as Mother Nature rolled us out of bed. And sometimes that's not fair. Think of the way you looked when you looked in the mirror and were brushing your teeth this morning. That is our how you doing look every morning. And we have the pictures to prove it. Good moods, bad moods, happy children, sick kids, we go through it all together before the sun comes up. And so when that happens, you tend to bond with each other at that hour. Either that or you hit snooze and refuse to get out of bed. I've never felt like hitting snooze while I've been working with Savannah, and I don't take that lightly. What is most gratifying about the time we've spent together over these 5+ years is that we've come to lean on each other and depend on each other. What a gift it is to have someone by your side on live TV who you can always count on to have your back, who will finish your thoughts and your sentences, who will teach you something every day and be willing to learn something along with you. What a joy it is to have someone who cares about the us and not the me, and who makes it look so easy. It is for all of these reasons and so much more that you've made a great choice in choosing her to receive a Matrix Award, and I am proud to be the person to give it to her. So ladies and gentlemen, your Matrix Award winner and my favorite klutz, Savannah Guthrie.
I can make your hands clap. Said I can make your hands clap. Somebody save your soul 'cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing control.
Wow. Well, I made it up here, literally. Now you know how difficult that was. I want to say thank you to Matt. You blow me away. Every day, actually, working with Matt, it blows me away. I count myself lucky to have someone who is a friend and also kind of my idol. And he's the most generous person I know, and now you really know because you were so generous with what you just said. Too generous. Thank you. So, let me get this straight. I have to follow Matt Lauer, and I am the last speech. Really? Don't worry, my speech is only 15, 20 minutes long. Just kidding. It's 3 minutes. You won't feel a thing. If you had told me 20 years ago, no, if you had told me 10 years ago that I would be honored at an event like this, that Matt Lauer would introduce me at a ceremony hosted by Katie Couric, after the paramedics had revived me, I would have shrieked in joy and shock and disbelief. Matt and Katie, do you guys remember the first time I was on the Today Show? Like pink blazer, the Rachel hairdo, even though it was already 2005? Yeah, I didn't think so. It feels so nice to be up here and in the company of such extraordinary women. And though this is an honor for women in our business, I have to tell you, I don't have any bumper sticker-worthy wisdom or catchy female empowerment slogans. Every few months, I sit down with our interns at the Today Show, and time after time, year after year, the number one question they ask, what is it like to be a woman in this business? And to be honest with you, I'm never quite sure how to answer that. So here's how I think about it. I got here not because I'm a woman, or despite being a woman. I got here just being a woman. In fact, right now I'm going to confess to you all the girly things I have done in my career. I have worn my heart on my sleeve. I have wondered if I am good enough. I have felt like I am on the ballot every day. I have hated my hair. I have compared myself to others and lost. I have let them see me sweat. I have even let them see me cry. But here's some other girly things I've done. I've worked hard. I've put in the hours. I've studied. I've overstudied. I've grown 2 humans in my belly. And most importantly, I have recognized that the real source of my success is far outside myself. So no, I'm not the tough as nails, blazer-wearing, 80s working woman who for me growing up was the stereotypical image of feminism. I am a combo platter of anxiety and calm, confidence and doubt, fear and courage, vulnerability and invincibility, fragileness and solid granite strength. I am all of these things at once. What I believe, As a woman in this business, it's good to be tough, but it's even better to be you. When I think about how I got here, as improbable as it is, when I really think about it, I return to the same thing over and over again. I've been lucky and I have been blessed. Maybe it isn't fashionable or even acceptable in a room like this to put it in those terms, but that's the bottom line. Lucky and blessed. And over the years, I have realized that as wonderful and exciting and gratifying as all of this can be, I must hold it at a certain distance. Being successful in your career is a really good thing, but it is not an ultimate thing. I'm at my best when I remember this, and I'm at my worst when I do not. I have a little girl at home. So when I think about a better world for women, this is who I think about. I think about her wild, tumbleweed curls and her crazy spirit, the confidence and joy that just seem to naturally course through her veins and radiate from every pore. This is girl power in its raw state. I look at her daily and I think, please, world, don't shatter her. And yet, she will grow up and life will happen and it's up to me to equip her. So I consider, what must she know? I try to think like a journalist. What's essential? What does it all boil down to? What is the nut of the nut? I want her to hold two simultaneous truths in her heart. One, you are precious, rare, unique among all humans, and treasured beyond speaking. And two, you're small, a tiny speck, no better, no worse, no more or less than anybody else. Only by holding these two paradoxical truths in our hearts can we all weather this big, sometimes sad, often exhilarating, occasionally overwhelming, but always beautiful world. I'm going to tell her, this is how you rise and shine. Thank you for this honor.